your host Anson. Joining me, good friends Dave.
Going on?
White and Nerdy 42.
Hey, hello everybody, hope you had a good week.
And Just a Base.
Hello everyone.
Shaping up to be an exciting match this time around. I am really excited to see how this one is going to turn out. I think if any team has a chance of taking one off Breaking Bad, it's going to be Trismegetsu. I think if Breaking Bad perform well in this game, get the win, it's very likely they can achieve the dream, 7-0.
Hype.
Hype the dream. Seeing bands come out across the board. Zed LeBlanc Hecarim, Gragas Kalista Morgana being thrown down. Quite a few picks picked up already as well. I think the Heimerdinger's just for the lulls, but you never know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want to believe.
Oof. I wonder if that's Upa's vein. I hope so. Just because hype. I mean, if anyone knows, everyone knows Upa's vein. He may lose lane, but man's a god. Let's not kid ourselves here. Great player.
Is Playboy actually going to play Anivia? I'd love to see Anivia.
I think that's just a troll hover. Let's be real here.
Yeah, it's basically the Hecker or Heimerdinger that we just saw.
Ooh, there it is.
What actually locks it in? And another thing that's interesting here, we're seeing the return of Unopa this week. That guy's well known in House Party. Got famous for his Vayne gameplay in the beginning, and I'm stoked because he's bringing the Vayne back.
I'm super hyped for his Vayne, but this Anivia pick, in reality, actually works really well with this team. You have a Rek'Sai for a great lockdown, keeping it, people in a certain area, as well as a Thresh. It's able to, he has his box, his play, his Q. He's able to really help peel for this Anivia. And on top of that, throwing in a Malphite, you're able to really just lock down the entire enemy team in one different area. And it's really good for their team. I'm pretty shocked by the bans though, because I was really expecting a Rek'Sai ban coming out for Mashari. I mean, everyone knows he only plays like 3 or 4 champions, but the man has so many champions. I mean, he's rated as one of the best, junglers in the league, probably the best, especially in my view. But overall, I really enjoy seeing him pick up the Rek'Sai, which I was kind of shocked by. But one thing to note is that Trismegetsu, with their bot lane, Senkano can go support, Upa can go support. They both are so flexible, you really don't know what to expect from either of these two.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nopa's taken some time off. Yeah, who knows what he's been working on as far as shoring up his game goes. He may have completely changed his specialty here. It's anything's kind of up in the air. And so, yep, there you have it. Nopa playing the support role.
And Senkano on the Vayne. That's going to be fun to watch, though, because he is a pretty good Vayne player, and I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this Rumble pickup here. I don't know, I just really like Rumble. I think Rumble's a really fun champion. His ult can make or break a fight. And not to mention, it's an excellent counter pick against Malphite, who really wants to stack armor. You can't really do that against Rumble.
Yeah, it's also quite good against Anivia because Rumble doesn't have to dive the back line to tear it to pieces with his equalizer. He can just place it at range and zone carries away from a fight, because if they stay where they are, safely in position, they'll just burn to death painfully.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good team synergy, I think, on both sides as far as champions go. Really interested to see what Hoi Hoi's going to bring out with the Anivia. I've never seen him play that champion before. This definitely looks like some very heavy preparation on Breaking Bard's part. This is not a champion list that you just decide to bring out in the middle of Champion Select. This is something these guys have been working on, if my thoughts are correct, and that may help them out quite a bit when it comes to executing it. If they haven't been working on it, though, it could be disastrous for him. But knowing Breaking Bard, pretty sure they're going to be bringing their A game, and they've been giving this one quite a bit of thought. They really want to go 7-0 this season.
Yeah, I mean, they have just a pretty strong comp overall. The Sivir, I like Sivir as well as an AD carry. Just a big opportunity for burst, but also being that utility AD carry. Versus a Vayne, pretty good pick, because you can just try to like out-utility her if that's actually a thing. And
Vayne's a champion with a lot of weaknesses, definitely fallen out of favor in the current meta for sort of your AD casters like Graves and Lucian, and more of your late game hyper carries like Tristana and whatnot have really sort of overpassed Vayne, but Vayne's still plenty capable if given the right protection, if given the right circumstances of carrying a game, and we'll see what Sankenyo can do with it. Guys, we are heading into our loading screen. Caster's going to take a short break, and we will be right back.
Alright, good morning. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Welcome to House Party 5v5, Game 1, Breaking Bard versus Trismegetsu. Looks like we are getting into this game. A little classic start as usual. Sorry about that. Okay, alright, sorry, my mic was in a weird spot. Anyways, so yeah, so going from the draft, I definitely enjoy both teams' comps. I feel like this Rumble is going to be kind of the deciding factor, as well as this Anivia. Mostly, I think this Anivia is definitely going to be a big factor as well, because it really depends if Hoi Hoi is able to beat Amara in the mid lane. I think that's something with an Anivia versus, you know, Orianna. It's going to be hard for him.
Yeah, he did take the barrier, which is better than heal in lane, just because it only affects the one person, which is nice. I think another wild card in this game, shall we say, is the jungle Sion. We haven't really seen too much of that. Generally, we see Sion in the top lane, but Odin's son says, "Screw it, I'm gonna try it in the jungle," and we'll see how that works for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be enjoyable to see a Sion jungle. Every time I see a Sion jungle, I just think of I think of Zark, mostly, because, you know,
Yeah,
Zark is a classic Sion jungler, and Sion, when his rework came out, it was kind of just played around of what role he really was going to play. You know, was he going to be top? Was he going to be jungle? His ganks aren't really that well thought out or well done, but it's still pretty good in general.
Yeah, and with a couple notes, once you reach level 6, obviously your ganks get pretty good, because you can ult in, and if you stand in a bush and like get your teammates to bait the enemy towards you, then you can get a fully charged decimating smash, which is lots of damage plus a knockup.
Yeah, definitely definitely agree with that. But it looks like at the bot lane, Nami Vayne, classic matchup from season 3 in the or classic bot lane composition from season 3. I was always a big fan of Vayne Nami because of Silver Bullets added on to Tycolor's Blessing was always a strong way to trade efficiently within the lane.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably always will be, you know, that synergy is very nice. But on the other side, you do have the Sivir who can spell shield some of that CC that either Vayne or Nami can put out. Not to mention Fly Knight on Thresh can put in quite a bit of counter damage and DC as well.
Yeah, and Fly Knight, a lot of people don't remember, but Fly Knight was known for his Thresh. Like, he was the Thresh player from T-Ball and House Party 5v5. Or, you know, he was the Thresh player, and a lot of people were scared of it, you know, banned it out. And him being back on it is always enjoyable to watch. So, this game is very, I feel like this game is going to start changing, and it's going to go for good or bad for depends on what team gets first blood. This you know is going to be very enjoyable once the first blood comes out because it's really going to kind of be the deciding factor of this game.
Speaking of which, we could see some action coming up in the top lane. Mashari getting ready to gank, and Slaking is up on health right now on enemy. Mashari might just be up there for some vision, but it does look like he really wants to go in. Here we go.
Kind of excited.
Oh, nice flash by enemy.
Out.
Mashari could have followed it up with a flash knockup if he wanted to, but he didn't want to. He just was there to get out a flash. Next time he can do even better.
Yep, definitely was able to get that flash timer as well, so I would not be surprised to see Mashari back up in the top lane to take control of that. A lot of trade coming out from Orianna in the mid lane, or Mero on this Orianna. Orianna's been kind of like this flavored pick by a lot of the current mid laners. I'm kind of excited to see how this Anivia versus Orianna matchup happens, because in reality, 1v1, Orianna's kind of in the winning mid laner in a sense, at least from my point of view, because I've always seen Orianna as a stronger mid laner compared to Anivia. So if Hoihoi is able to really out trade and start trading out Amaro and winning the lane, this is going to be a very kind of show the skill of Amaro.
And it is worth noting at this that Amaro is up about 10-15 CS and doing a good job of pushing the wave tower. But in the bot lane, Mashari jumps in, gets the knockup. Sankanyo is forced to get away, but he's going to be smited out by Mashari. First blood goes over to Breaking Bar.
Wow, that was a great play coming out from Apricot or Mashari on the Rex side. Wow, I can't think of the name of the champion. Doing this gank from the tri-bush over the wall, being able to get behind the Nami and Vayne is a very smart idea. Very well thought out and very well played by Apricot himself. Mashari, same person. Everyone knows him by his Apricot or Mashari, so.
Yeah. The flash knockup was very well played. It's one of the most important parts of playing Rek'Sai if you can hit those flash knockups, because they're pretty important considering they're the only major form of CC you have.
Yep. Also to note that I don't know if you noticed,
nice
but
steal there on Mashari.
Sankanyo actually missed his condemn on.
Condemn.
Yeah, I didn't know if people noticed that, but he did miss that, and that actually caused that was the reason why Mashari was able to pick up the kill, is the miss condemn.
Yeah, Sankanyo, Kuro rather, has not backed yet. He is sitting on about he's sitting on about 1,500 gold, so he's almost up to that BF sword. Sankanyo has backed once, didn't even manage to get a full cutlass. The CS though in the bot lane is even, which is good for Sankanyo being a late game hyper-focused Vayne.
And I mean, in reality, the meta has kind of shifted from this utility ADC, you know, Sivir, Sivir. I'm gonna keep on saying Sivir because and Corki. You kind of had to throw Corki in there because his poke is pretty substantial when it comes to pushing lanes out. But anyways, it's kind of been switching from Sivir into like a Vayne Jinx. Jinx was played a lot in EU LCS to be able to pick up these hyper carries, so they can have these two giant tanks, and one in top lane, one tank jungler, and then you have this hyper carry that can sit there and have your front line just sit there and be a front line.
Big damage.
Yeah, and it's kind of turned into meta, so I feel like Kuro on the Sivir is going to be very, very beneficial for the mid game. But if they don't spike off from the mid game, it's going to turn badly for them.
To be fair, though, Trismegetsu does only have one tank in Odin Sun on Scion, because enemy is not going to be building tank. He's going to be building that straight AP Magic Pen build we see, and Oppa even is also going to be aiming for probably a little more AP, not straight AP, but going for a more support-focused build than tank.
Yeah, but another thing to note is that the double AP comp coming out from Trismegetsu, people need to be careful about that trade coming out from Anivia, though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Once Anivia hits 6, it's really just pop R and then E right away. Put out your Glacial Storm and then just bam, crit the Frostbite. And that's going to be a lot of damage. Amaro is still up 20 CS, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he is up by a lot, though. That is definitely something to note.
In the top lane, or in the bot lane rather, Mashari gets bubbled. He gets ignited. He gets against the wall. He's going to go down Sankenya with a kill. That's a big kill on Vayne. Oppa gets hooked, but that's not going to mean anything. But now Odinson is coming in. He jumps right in. Oh, nice cancel by Fly Knight with the Flay canceling out the Decimating Smash, but he's still going to get stunned. That's another kill for Sankenyo off of the ult. 2 kills for Vayne. Very big.
That was a great trade, and I also gotta give credit to Kuroskai. That was a really good bubble or spell shield to stop the charging assault, I think is what it's called, from the Scion. Unstoppable onslaught. It's so scary. Every time I hear that sound, I have a Scion on my team, and like I'll hear that sound coming that just out of nowhere, and I'm like, shit. Like, it's scary. Like, it's just like, it's the most scariest sound in the game. They did very well with the rework on Scion.
Yeah,
I always have to like cringe a little.
Something we actually totally missed is right kind of during that fight happened, right before enemy teleported, he actually killed Slaking.
Oh, he did. I actually didn't notice that. Yeah. And Slaking did ult away, which was pretty. That was definitely something that it was. That that last tick of the flame.
Yeah.
That
flame
was
spitter.
Able to kill him. Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say flame chompers for some reason.
We were just talking about Jinx. Regardless, Kurosakai does have a BF Sword pickaxe. I think overall he's still going to have a slight trading advantage over Cutlass, Berserker Degrees, Vayne. But the fact that Sankenyo is on Vayne and has the Nami support. Oh, another kill in the top lane.
Yeah, Rumble is a beast. Probably one of the better top laners at the moment, besides the fact that tank top laners are kind of like the meta in a sense. But if you throw in a Rumble here and there, you're not hurting yourself, too much.
Yeah, and from the looks of it, Slaking is not opting for too tanky of a Malphite, considering he's looking to rush this Athene's Unholy Grail versus the Rumble just to try to get some magic resist. I don't know what his build after that is going to be.
Yeah, and having that early haunting guys coming out from because of having those 2 kills is very beneficial. Gank coming out from Mashari though.
Yeah, here in the bot lane, Oppa's gonna go down. Mashari has really done a great job focusing here in the bot lane, trying to counter the advantage that enemy's getting. But giving your bot lane an advantage won't matter too much if Rumble hits a perfect equalizer.
Especially when you're fighting in the jungle and you hit that one equalizer that just changes the game, and looks like a dive.
Looks like they're going in for the dive on Sankenyo. Sankenyo though getting the stun on Fly Knight. Fly Knight's still taking tower aggro. He's gonna go down. They are going to get the shutdown on Sankenyo. Nice job though to turn it around. Eerily, yeah, that was excellent play by Sankenyo, given that he knew he was dead. Nothing he could do. Just try to turn around, pick up 1 kill there.
So very, very well done. play coming out from Bashari, being able to take advantage to the bot lane and diving that tower to be able to get the tower as well, which is very good. A lot of damage coming out from both these guys. Wow.
Yeah, so this is a pretty even game so far. The gold is just about even. Breaking Bar has a slight advantage, but here, nice barrier by Hoihoi. But it's just one more auto attack, one more Q from Amaro. I don't know if he can get it. He does have flash. Not going to go for it. Oz comes out.
And DC.
And
always happens.
Right after Kuro went down to a unstoppable onslaught, Odin's son jumping and getting with young Opa's help. Actually slightly moving the gold back into Trismegetsu's favor, but
it's about really only 300 gold off. The only advantage Trismegetsu has right now is that one dragon, but at the moment this game is very even in skill and overall players as well. They're very, you have probably some of the best players in the league at the moment on consistent thrown across both these teams, so being able to really see how this game kind of shows you really who is the better team of the league at the moment. But with the lag issues, hopefully those will end soon. Let's go ahead and look at the goal difference between both these teams. At the moment, the only person that's really down in gold by a significant amount, well, both are Slacking and Hoihoi. Hoihoi on the Nivea, he's down about about 17, 18, 19 CS, so about 20 CS down. So he's, in relevance to gold, he's about 300 gold down as well. So and the top lane with the 2 kills enemy has, that's about a 460 gold lead that he has over Slacking. But Slacking is actually keeping up in CS and getting ahead as well.
Yeah, and to counter that gold lead is obviously Mashari with those 3 kills already on Rek'Sai is making that up. It's full 5,000 in favor, or 500, not 5,000, 500 in favor of him over Odin's son.
I definitely agree with that. Getting back into the game, let's see how the spot lane turns out. With that tower down, Senkenyo is going to be able to most likely, he might end up freezing the lane, farming. He has all this room now to really farm and sit back and not worry about incoming ganks and stuff like that. As long as they keep that area warded, or at least the entrances.
Ooh, nice bubble there by Unopa, stopping Fly Knight, stopping that Thresh from coming in. In the mid lane, might start being even tougher for Hoihoi because he had to use both his summoners in that last fight, thanks to the shockwave from Amaro, and Amaro still has both summoners up. Plus, next time, if the fight comes out, see how that goes.
Nope, I agree, and I really like I really like this Nivea pick. And I kind of like the build they're going for. You're going for the raw tier, which at first I was like, oh no, this looks really bad. But with being down in CS and really trying to, the Nivea or Hoihoi is gonna kind of want to sit back and do damage and be a little bit more tanky for the front line. So it's definitely gonna be interesting how this Nivea is gonna work.
Yeah, another thing you mentioned was about how Breaking Bard has a very big mid-game focused composition, and going that tier and Rod of Ages, especially on Anivia, opting for that build is very late game focused, which I think might give a slight advantage over to Breaking Bard. Mashari jumping on Opa, he's just there for a Prey Seeker.
Yep. Sorry about that. Yeah. But I still like Vayne Nami. Nami is probably one of the best. I don't want to say protection, but in a sense, probably one of the better supports to be able to keep the Vayne and keep the Vayne alive. With having a heal and Tide Caller's Blessing for the slow. You have a lot of peel. You got your bubble and everything. So Vayne Nami is. I've always enjoyed Vayne Nami. I'm kind of a little upset that it's kind of fallen out of flavor in a sense, but Slacking kind of in a weird spot with Odin's, but Mashari's coming up.
Yeah, Mashari's here, but enemies coming down. And, we kind of forgot to mention this, but if a bigger team fight breaks out, there is a very nice wombo combo overall coming out of Trismegetsu. Mashari's in the middle of everyone. I don't think he wants to be. The equalizer comes out. He's going to be forced to find another way out. Nice ult by Hoihoi, but I think Mashari is still going to drop enemy on a killing spree. That's not what Breaking Bard wants to see from the Rumble. Now the Unstoppable Onslaught's coming out. Odinson is just gonna whiff. Blaking's trying to run away. No ult available. He does not have flash either. He will go down as well. Rampage for enemy now.
Oh, the damage coming out from Hoi Hoi right there, getting that stun, and as well as just being able to tick as much of the frost damage they can. Mistook coming out for Fly though.
Yeah, that was a great fight for Trismegetsu. Rumble with hunting guys needlessly is very, very strong right now. Plus, they have the threat of the Shockwave from Amaro. Plus, they have the Unstoppable Onslaught from Odinson. Plus, once they start team fighting even more, they have Oppa's Tidal Wave. Just great team fights from Trismegetsu if they choose to take them.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought Yunupa was about to get caught there, but Sankenya was there to help out.
So
Mishari getting ready for this dragon. I saw the ult coming out from Mishari to get close to dragon with like 10 seconds left on the clock, but you know, very well done by them to set up and take that dragon, take control back of that area so that they become even now in dragons as well.
Yeah, that was almost a sneak because Trismegetsu didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Rek'Sai with the Warrior Enchantment plus Hex Drinker is a pretty scary folk and also can rush down that dragon very quickly, so.
Yep. But one thing to note is Slacking did go Chalice on, on a tank, Malphite. I mean, granted, you do need... I think the MR is respectable in a sense, but I really don't know how this Malphite pick kind of came into flavor, or came into this game right now. Because you gotta look at the enemy team. They have enemy, you have a Rumble, a Orianna. You can even say the Nami and Scion have primarily, magic damage, and then you have Upa or Sankenya on the Vayne, which is also primarily true damage as well. So you really don't have much, attack damage, so you can't just stack armor. So I'm kind of curious on how this Malphite's going to work into the team comp.
Yeah, I'm also wondering what his next items are going to be, because I've seen Malphite builds that go with Fiends into something more tanky like an Iceborne Gauntlet and continue building tankier from there. I know we both are big proponents of Righteous Glory, so maybe something like that.
Yes, I think Righteous Glory should be on his items to pick up.
It should be on everyone's item pickup list. We digress.
We'll just go with a Sivir with the Righteous Glory. How about that?
That could be OP with that alt-right.
You just think like a Sivir with a Righteous Glory, throw in a Talisman, I mean, put on some Boots of Swiftness and pop your ult, and you'll have an entire team running at you like it's crazy.
Yeah, funnily enough, actually, I don't know if you saw, I don't know how often you browse r/League of Legends, but there was a video of a Malphite reaching something ridiculous like 30,000 movement speed, so we could run instantly to top lane and back.
I've always seen those videos, and I've always found them hilariously done, but then you realize that you can never actually enjoy that unless you make your own custom game, which saddens me sometimes. But
I just found it funny to watch, because like, instant speed.
It's always fun to watch, though. Looks like we kind of have like a slight lane swap, Slacking back in the bot lane, or in the bot lane at least. Sankenya actually might be able to take care of Slacking here.
Slaking's gonna have to flash away, but Night Hunter's still active for Sankenya. He does have Final Hour as well. Slacking, one more auto attack from Sankenya. He tumbles. He heals, gets that last auto. Oh, but the Silver Bolt runs out just at the right time. Sankenya might have overextended now. Mishari comes in with a smite, comes in with the damage. Sankenya just trying to lifesteal back, but he is going to go down. That could have worked out differently if the Silver Bolts didn't unapply right as Sankenya was going in for his last auto attack.
That was a great play from Sankenya. He knew how far behind Slacking was in the top lane. Bubble come after Mupa. Okay, just a zoning bubble.
Yeah, and I do like this lane swap from Trismegetsu. They're pressing their advantages. They know that enemy is strong enough to take on Kurosakai, and they also know that Sankenya can duel Slaking, assuming no jungler present. So, just kind of an overall good choices from Trismegetsu here, and it shows they're up about 2,000 gold.
One thing I do want to notice, I feel like enemy on his Rumble, with how far ahead he is, he's 4-0, he has Hunting Guy, Sork Boots, and even a needlessly large rod. I think Unipa doesn't even need to be here. Unipa can go mid lane, help push that out. Enemy can probably 1v2. I mean, probably without a doubt, he can 1v2 a Severe Thresh. Unless he gets hooked and just CC to death, which, I mean, you can't really do that well with a Severe ADC. I mean, you don't have like choppers or Kadem or anything like that to really.
Ooh, I hear the unstoppable onslaught coming in from Odinson. He's going to get down Fly Knight. That should be a dead threat. Oh, but excellent flash bubble misses. Fly Knight just sidesteps the equalizer. Hook comes on to open now. They might be able to get him. They will get him. Slaking with the TP coming in. Mashari is also here. Enemy does get another kill. He is 5-0 now. But Breaking Guard was able to trade 1 kill back. They might want a little bit more. But Slaking, the double knockup coming out. That was good.
What a great double knockup.
Double knockup. Slaking.
Be careful here.
Slaking unstoppable force, followed by the Mashari and Burrow. Odinson will squeak out with just a little bit of health. Is going to be another tower for Breaking Guard.
And Sankanyo is actually getting the bot lane as well.
So saying, even though it looks like Breaking Guard made it out, won that fight on paper, I would actually propose that it turned out better for Trismegetsu, just getting Sankanyo some free farm, getting him further, bring him back in terms of CS.
Okay, and yeah, the young Warmog's Cinderhulk coming out from Scion from the jungle.
So many good stacks right there, considering he also already has 400 health from his W passive.
Yeah, that's I love that health. Cinderhulk health 25%. I think it's 25% increased health or something like that. It's such a great pass.
But I mean, sure, hopefully he's going to grab a Righteous Glory as well. And I'm not just saying that because I love the item, but I'm also saying that to really be helpful.
No, you're saying that because you like that item.
I know it'll help Rumble.
Just biased here. Come on.
It'll help enemy hit a better equalizer. It'll maybe help Amaro get the ball to someone and be in better position for a shockwave. Plus, it'll synergize really well with Final Hour plus Night Hunter from Sankanyo. There are a bunch of reasons why it's good.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on this. But one thing, I don't think Righteous Glory is needed as much though for Trismegetsu, because you also got to keep in mind that Breaking Bard, they're really going to be the primary engagers. They're going to have the Sivir ult. So yeah, granted, the Righteous Glory is going to be good for chasing down, but they're going to try and engage on you first. So you kind of really don't need the disengaged Righteous Glory more. You kind of need just them to engage on you, and you could probably take them out afterwards. But looks like another fight's going to happen any second now, right here near the Dragon Pit.
Dragon is live. This is Dragon number 2. Everyone knows Dragon number 2 is important. Not really, but they still want to fight. And Summoner spells are up. Pretty much up pretty well, but it looks like Trismegetsu is just going to get this right away. Good choice by Breaking Bard. They're going to trade. They're going to say, okay, you can have the dragon. We're just going to take your tier 2 tower.
The young C9 strategy. Well, at least Dragon Mize. Ooh, Equalizer coming out.
Very nice Equalizer. Does do quite a bit of damage to Kuro and Hoi Hoi, bringing them both down to about half health. Tidal Wave comes in, doesn't hit much. The Unstoppable Onslaught does come on to Slaking. Looks like Trismegetsu will be able to get at least 1 kill. Hoi Hoi also looks like he's going to drop down at least to egg form. Nice flash. Gets the sun on Odinson. He should be able to get away. Breaking Bard just splitting up in all directions, running away. Oh, nice Shockwave though. Gets Fly Knight.
I ultimately was expecting that Shockwave coming out there.
Just for him, yeah. But ultimately, it is a 2-for-0. And possibly Baron here for Trismegetsu. Because Breaking Bard has no idea it's up.
Easily take this out. Unless Hoi Hoi is able to do some magic, same for Mashari.
Mashari is ready, but enemy just still shreds. And that's the Baron. That was a 24-minute Baron due to the power of the Vayne, Rumble, Scion just shredding through Baron.
Yeah, the Silver Bullet's drill damage is, always that Baron killer. Instead of Dragon Slayer, it's definitely a Baron killer skin. Let's be real here.
Baron Slayer Vayne?
Yeah, Baron Slayer.
Dragon?
Vayne.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean dragons are awesome looking. I want a pet dragon now, just like a blue one. Just
Dave?
What? Come on.
Dragons don't exist.
You can't lie to me like that. They exist.
Alright, well,
Don't ruin my dreams here. I want a blue dragon, just like the one that Vayne killed.
I mean, you can always get a blue eyes white dragon.
I didn't realize that was a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Oh man.
I don't play
Alright.
Yu-Gi-Oh, but
Alright, let's cut the joking around here. This is professional, and we have to talk about how Dragon Slayer Vayne is 4-3 and 192 CS, which is actually down compared to Kuro Sakai here.
but he does have the Blade of the Ruin King Phantom Dancer opting for the early Führer enchantment. I'm telling you, this movement speed chase, this chase comp is really coming
Just
out.
add in a Righteous Glory, right? Is that what you're gonna tell me right here?
Well, I'm not saying Vayne should, but considering he's already building the Führer, in fact, maybe he's doing that because they are not getting any kind of movement speed item. There's no Talisman coming out, no Righteous Glory, they don't have a Sivir, so Sankanyo just wants to be able to chase down those targets once he gets some damage onto them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see a Righteous Glory Vayne. It's unethical, and I think it's slightly troll, but it'd be fun to watch. But look at the split push. I like this 1-4 coming out from Trismegetsu right here. You know, with the enemy in the top lane and the 4 in the mid with the Baron buff. This is really beneficial for Trismegetsu, so they're able to siege on this towers pretty easily.
And at this point, also, nobody can duel enemy. So he is safe to kind of go up there, and Blade King's on his way up there. It looks like he is opting for that Frozen Heart second item. He doesn't have it anywhere close to it. He doesn't have it completed yet. I don't know if he can really fight enemy with the Haunted Guy's Zanya's, Rylai's components, and Sword Shoes.
And we also got to note real quick that really Hoi Hoi Panda is only 0-0-0. He's just been farming, and he's actually down in farm. So
a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, hook, barely touching, almost there.
Now Hoi Hoi is only about 100 mana away from completing that, from fully stacking the tier. It looks like he might be opting for the Archangel Staff next as well. So he will be hitting hard, and we've seen him be hitting hard. He just hasn't had any real presence in fights because fights have been pretty one-sided when they've been grouped up team fights so far.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hoi Hoi kind of needs to either get a really good wall off to catch off either a Orianna or B Vayne, which is going to be kind of hard because the Vayne's going to be able to tumble in the direction to get away from the wall, or they really need to lock down the Vayne or the Orianna with a good hook or something along that line, and Hoi Hoi is going to be able to do a lot of damage. So I mean, kind of going back to the start of the game where I kind of said, oh, this team is really good if they're able to stay in these AoE situations outside of the Rumble ult. So I kind of want to see that actually happen in future of this match.
Yeah, but enemy has had a couple really good Rumble ults and a couple not so good Rumble ults. So I feel like that is a big hinge of the fight, is whether or not he can get off a really good one. Dragon up in a minute. Baron buff is worn off, but with the 5,000 gold lead, I'm not too sure about if Breaking Bard can contest it.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably have to give this up unless they get a really good catch off right before the fight. Yeah, and Warmock's coming out from Mashari as well. One thing to note though is that Mashari does not have Cinderhulk. He actually went for the Warrior Enchantment as well as a Hex Drinker, so he's kind of not really that tanky at the moment.
No, all he has is the Warmogs, and health does not really give tankiness, because you'll still get shredded, and that's why the Vayne is so good as well. Percent health true damage negates resistances and health.
Yeah, I mean, it's good old Warmogs doesn't stop a Vayne with a blade. I mean, it's kind of hard to stop a blade on a Vayne as well as silver bullets. I mean, it's a lot of damage coming out from them.
Plus, the Phantom Dancer means Sankanyo is currently sitting at 1.9 attack speed.
That's a good amount for a Vayne too. I mean, he has the Phantom Dancer, about to finish his last Whisper, and I mean, they just got that dragon right there. Ooh, enemy getting hooked.
Enemy does get hooked. He's just gonna get Chain CC'd here. He does have Zanyas, he does have Equalizer. Nice Equalizer. Slaking is taking the turret. I don't think he wants to tank it for that long. Enemy's gonna go down. Slaking, that last tower shot doesn't quite kill him, but the rest of Trismegetsu is coming up. Breaking Bard might need to be careful. Hoi Hoi is at full health, full mana. Nice spell shield from Kuro.
That was a good dive coming out onto enemy. Granted, Sankenio or
Was yeah. Here comes the unstoppable onslaught though. This fight is far from over. Kuro just gets caught by the unstoppable onslaught. Shockwaved in, instantly goes down. Fly Knight does cancel Odin's decimating smash, but he looks like he will drop as well. He gets condemned against the wall. Another kill from Sankenio.
Slacking's in trouble here. Sankenio is going hard.
And he can, because he has those Fuhrer boots. He's got a Bork. He doesn't really care.
Very well done. A little slight BM from Odin's son. You know, coming into this game, you just really don't know what to expect from Upa or Sankenio. You know, either of them can go bot lane. And I mean, we were all expecting the Upa on the Vayne, but they showed us. They showed us that Sankenio is just as good as an ADC as Upa. And I mean, he's really able to do much. I mean, the only downside is he's only down in farm. And that's only because he's not pulling a double lift and, you know, split pushing or farming the side lanes as much as he can. Yeah,
he's been a huge presence in fights, and he is about 1,300 gold up, 1,400 gold ahead of his opposite counterpart.
But I think the only real way that Breaking Bards will really do anything in this upcoming future is they really need to find the right pick. They need to, you know, they picked up enemy, but it just backfired on them when it came to Odin's unstoppable onsite, you know, and they really got to pick, like, you know, like I said, they have to find the right way to fight the enemy team, which is kind of hard.
This right here could be the right fight. Sankenio is not there. He is bot lane. He's going to be a while in coming up, but disengage with the bubble, with the tidal wave, and no fight for Breaking Bard. They are going to be able to start clearing wards around Baron, though.
This is I'm a little curious on what Breaking Bard's plan here is with this Baron coming up. They really can't just, you know, start it. They don't have any, you know, blade damage or some type of percentage health or true damage to really shred through the Baron. So it's very questionable on what their next move is. To be honest, I think they're more of just wanting to get that one pick, but with 5 of the members teaming up, you know, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, not to mention, they can't even really do some kind of Baron bait, because then they're just going to get equalized, and then they're all dead.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this Nivea should be on Trismegetsu instead of Breaking Bard, in the sense of the pick. Because you get an equalizer into a Nivea ult, it's just kind of, you know, it's a lot.
That's
a lot
just
of
so
AoE.
much slowing, yeah.
Yeah, they're basically gonna die by the time they get out of the, you know, the glacial storm, and on top of that, the equalizer.
Yeah, Trismegetsu, no pink wards in inventory, so they'd have to sweep out the Baron Pit to find this ward that Breaking Bard placed. So it was a very nice ward there. I'm not sure who placed it, but regardless, it was a good choice.
It might have been probably Slacking. I haven't really seen that many wards being bought out throughout the team.
It was indeed Slacking. Ooh, On the Hunt is popped. The hook, not even close on Amaro. Condemn comes out from Sankenio. Mashari wants to jump on and then says, never mind, that's not a good idea. They are going to put some pressure on this inhibitor, but they can't really do much when Amaro has this much wave clear.
The rotations are coming out though. They're like, okay, if we can't get mid tower, we're going to get bot tower. I mean, look at the wave is kind of big, but it's pushing towards Trismegetsu here, and they can catch Super here. Be a little bit careful with the ball there.
Yeah, also Odin's son, he has been really on point with his unstoppable onslaught so far this game. Been hitting people, been hitting priority targets, taking people out. An excellent job overall. Trismegetsu is going to pause the fight, grab a blue buff. I don't know what Hands of God has to say about this. Let's find out.
Breaking Bard. Hands of God Slater.
That's what I meant, yeah. I said that.
Don't worry, I get teams mixed up all the time. I almost called Breaking Bard Trismegetsu earlier. It's just, you know.
Yeah, So Breaking Bard is showing that is showing how they're the top team in the league, even though they're not quite ahead right now. They are still making good rotations, trying to make these, and it is paying off. They're getting a couple kills. They're putting damage on towers, so overall, pretty nice play from them, despite being down 7,000 gold.
Yep, and one thing to note is that, granted, Hoihoi Panda has his tier. It's fully stacked, but he doesn't even have his Seraph, the start of his Seraphs being built. And I looked at his gold, and he's really only have enough for the Blasting Wand when he backs here, so he needs to get that farm.
Yeah, He could also use like another couple kills. He only has one so far. It would be nice for him to get a couple. Uh-oh, Mashari might be in trouble. Fly Knight is saying take the lantern. Nobody wants to take the lantern. Opa not even coming close to dying. Mashari gonna tunnel out. Enemy just gonna kill the tunnel.
Yeah, you gotta step on those pesky tunnels. A lot of people forget about that he can, you know, ult any of his tunnels, and you can kind of see that they know that. The only 3 tunnels on the map right now are in the base, so you can get out of it quicker.
Yeah, very good point. There's nothing. Yeah, there are no tunnels. Or him to reliably ult to, making his ult kind of, I don't want to say useless, but it's kind of useless.
No, it's useless when you think about the fact that he has nothing he can ult to, and that's probably one of the downsides. Well, he fixed that, but that was right before we backed to what we were talking about. How he had no tunnels around the map. But I mean, it's hard for us to get any tunnels once you think about it, because Trismegetsu has a lot on the map right now, and really they're kind of stalling, which is kind of helpful because it builds up the Vayne and the Orianna, but at the same time, it kind of gives Breaking Bard the chance to really try and end the game in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not. It just kind of looks like Trismegetsu keeps stalling and then taking a dragon and stalling and taking a dragon. They are at 4 dragons now, so next dragon, Breaking Bard cannot allow to fall into their hands.
Yeah, but if you just look back at week 1, I mean, 5th dragon doesn't mean anything. I mean,
there was a team 5 dragons to 0, lost the game.
Yeah, it was you know, impressive how you can get 5 dragons in these, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised here, but I mean, this, like I said, with this game is the game to show the top team in the league. Granted, Breaking Bard would probably still be #1, I believe, but you know, they'll be able to at least take a game off of Breaking Bard and stop them from going 7-0.
Yeah, and as of right now, it does look pretty good for them. Enemy very strong on the Rumble, Sancanio very strong on the Vayne as well. Pretty much a support role for Romero with the 0-0 and 7, but he is doing work as well.
But the Frozen, I know this is a little late, but the Frozen art being completed on Slacking is actually going to be very beneficial when they get into this void, into the actual team fighting part of the game, because it will stop a lot of the damage coming out from Sancanio. I mean, granted, you can't really build straight health and armor against a Vayne, but you can at least build a Frozen Heart and armor as well. But you know, you can build a Frozen Heart and at least get something out of having armor, even though he does true damage. Even though Vayne has true damage.
You're really building the Frozen Heart for the attack speed slow, so that Vayne can't shred as easily. Although with the 1.9 attack speed, probably more by now, 2.1 attack speed, I don't know how much the Frozen Heart is going to do.
Well, let's see the math real quick. I mean, what is it? It's a 15%. It's not going to do much to stop the Vayne. But Trismegetsu, set up for this Baron.
Yeah, oh, here's the unstoppable onslaught though. They realize they have a catch on Slaking. They are going to get the stun. He is just going to take the lantern to safety. Nice wall as well coming out from Hoi Hoi. But Trismegetsu still able to just put down some damage and retreat, and if they want, they can burn through this Baron really fast. However, Unstoppable Onslaught is down.
We also forgot that Malphite does have a attack speed slow in his kit, you know, his ground slam, which is I think 50%, so 50%. Adding onto the 15%.
Hook onto enemy, lots of damage.
Dying.
They can't quite get him before Azanya's. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a big fight breaking out here. Nice unstoppable force coming out of Slaking. He is going to get that attack speed slow onto Sancanio. Slaking, flash knockup by Mashari, but on the other two-man shockwave coming out of Romero. First kill goes for Breaking Bard. Kuro picking up the kill, getting Opa. Hoi Hoi is going to have to flash out. He does have cooldowns up. Rebirth triggers. Amaro is going to get a kill onto Fly Knight. Kuro's just trying to kite backwards. Can't do anything. The shutdown comes out onto Sancanio, and Hoi Hoi is still alive. He is going to be huge with all this damage coming out. Does have the Seraphs completed. Mashari is in a little bit too deep though. Overall, so far it is a 3 for 2, but look at the health, such low health bars. And to get the crit, and a Q coming out from Hoi Hoi. Now it's a 4 for 3 in favor of Breaking Bard. Wow, what a crazy fight.
Wow. You know, I just looked down for a second to do the quick math and everything, and the next thing you know, I look up and Breaking Bard is, you know, doing, you know, they won a fight right there. I mean, that's a lot. So they definitely got a lot out of that. That was great.
Absolutely, Mashari there hit a 3-man flash hook. Or not flash hook, flash knockup, I should say, on Rek'Sai, and it just did so much, knocking up priority targets. Even though Amaro hit a shockwave onto 2 members, one of whom was Kuro, it was just so much damage from that point coming out of Hoi Hoi especially. It was great.
And while I was doing the math, I think Unipa's attack speed drops to 0.75, but you gotta keep in mind, I think there's a barrier of how, like, what stops your attack speed. You can't go way too low. This isn't Dota, where you have a Chantress, where she just slows your attack speed so much you basically just don't attack. But Upa, getting caught.
Yeah, Kuro, that was just about all Kuro. He is at a 4-item point on Sivir, which makes him a huge threat. He is also level 17, which means that he gets the 80% attack speed bonus while his Ricochet is active. That's big. Ooh, blue buff also getting taken away by Hoi Hoi. No blue buff for Orianna.
It's going to be pretty big, even though blue buff is really not needed that much for, say, an Orianna, but having that CDR, being able to, pop as many shields and command attack as much as you can is going to be very beneficial. So it definitely is some overlook. Double sweepers coming out from Breaking Bard. What a critical mistake there. I think we should bench both those players real quick.
Sankanyo picking up the red elixir. Actually, Sankanyo does not yet have his 4 items, has his 4th item completed. Kind of interesting to note.
I wonder how much gold. Oh, he's sitting at 1.85, so he has, I believe, enough for IE. Granted, he was able to buy the IE straight up. Kind of meaning he's kind of in the head, and he actually switched his boots from Fur into Home Guard.
No, he did.
And free Dragon going over to Breaking Bard.
Thank goodness for that too, because they kind of needed that.
That stops the 5th Dragon coming out from Trismegetsu as well. So
yeah, that's very big for them. I'm surprised they're not going and taking Scuttle right away. That would be nice for them to have a little bit more vision around Baron.
I think anybody got here.
Mishari wants to go in, but his flash is not up. Oh, what a wall! Stop the unstoppable onslaught.
Oh,
beautiful wall from Hoi Hoi.
Wow, that is the way to stop a Scion in his tracks. Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't even know you could do that until I saw the wall just come out.
And this is a big wall right now too. Since Hoi Hoi is level 18, max level wall is pretty darn big.
Wow, that's so easy. That's impressive. I wasn't expecting that at all. That was enjoyable to watch. I wanted to see that over and over again, just a Scion just running straight into a
Baron is being started by Trismegetsu. They know the Breaking Bard has vision. I think they also know that the Kuro's not there. Fly Knight is already taking a lot of damage. Sankanyo is just continually attacking Mishari. Might go for the steal. He does not get it. Oh, so close. He is going to get the knockup though. Sankanyo dropping very, very low. The shield coming out though. Hoi Hoi is going to drop into his passive form, Slaking. Unstoppable forcing right on top of Sankanyo, but I don't know what else he can do. Hoi Hoi is going to come back up only to die again. Triple kill for Sankanyo. Kuro is the only member left alive, and Kuro was not there for the beginning of that fight. That could have been so different.
One thing that you kind of missed there is that when Hoi Hoi came back alive, he immediately did his combo on the enemy, and enemy dropped from 100. Like he 100-0'd the enemy. Like it was kind of mind-boggling to look at that, but it was so much damage. It just wasn't enough to really kill him. That was wow. That was pretty scary to watch.
And he only has 3.5 items on Anivia.
Yeah,
he isn't even like full build yet, and he can still just absolutely pop people. Like even like you said, right when he comes off his passive, like almost 0 health, and just bam, almost killing enemy. It's reminiscent of an AP Nunu.
Oh man, those are scary. I remember I played AP Nunu once, got a triple kill by sitting in the bush and channeling my ult. People just walked into it and ended up getting quadra because of the snowball. This was when Nunu top was played frequently. That was back in those days. What a great meta.
Coming in from Slaking. He does not have home guards. He actually has distortion boots. He wants to be able to flash more often.
which is pretty good, especially when you think about it as a Malphite. You want to be able to get in the fight as quickly as possible, and that 20, I think it's 20, yeah, 20% movement speed after the flash. That's gonna be pretty significant to stay on top of a Vayne who's gonna just tumble away or try to condemn you against the wall or something along that line.
Not to mention the 30% movement speed after using teleport, and the cooldown reduction on teleport as well. So not a bad buy for Slaking. I'm actually kind of surprised we don't see that more often on top laners looking at it.
It's a great buy, especially you see it a good amount on like say AP Kog'Maw mid, because you gotta think about it like this. AP Kog'Maw mid has a ghost in the flash, so having that increased movement speed after flash, same with the increased movement speed from ghost, it's gonna be very beneficial.
I think
free tower.
Yeah, Hoihoi's making a mistake farming up top. He's gonna have to come down real fast and figure something out he can do. I'm honestly wondering if Breaking Bard wants to fight here. It wouldn't be the worst idea with a 5x5 team fight. I think they might actually have a slight edge.
I'm just ready for the next fight. I mean, granted, Breaking Bard has an inhibitor down, so it's gonna be pretty hard for them to really come back and make sure that they don't, lose the Nexus Tower or anything in that line. I mean, they have a direct access to Nexus Towers, Nexus for Trismegetsu, so it's gonna be very, very hard to really.
Thornmail picked up for Mashari. That is just excellent against the Vayne. Sankanyo's gonna start killing himself as he attacks Mashari.
Oh, I'm just getting antsy for this next fight right here.
Yeah, and I guess I just want to comment on two things with that. First of all, it's a testament to how good Breaking Bard is that they haven't lost yet, and it's been 47 minutes of them being pretty much consistently down. And secondly, it's approaching the point where the gold difference doesn't even matter because people are starting to get more and more items. 5 items completed for Hoihoi. Just about 5 items completed for everyone, and that means that the gold difference is going to start mattering less and less, and it's really just going to be about the team fighting and who can have a better fight.
Yeah, and you gotta keep in mind that Kuro actually went for the Banshees compared to the GA on like Sankanyo. He went for the GA. Mashari getting caught.
Yeah, and I think the GA is probably a better buy for Sankanyo just because he is playing Vayne. He is very ahead as of right now. Another 1-4, as you mentioned before, coming out from Trismegetsu. They are having the Rumble on enemy push top. Slaking's going to back try to deal with him. They both do have teleport up. Or Slaking will very soon, so.
And, Bubble coming out, barely missing, slacking there. He's going up there to push out that wave. They're getting ready for the 5th dragon. They need to just, this needs to fall over, and Mashari either A needs to steal it or steal it.
Mashari is ready. They haven't warded. He's burrowed. He's going in. He's getting ready. Can the steal come out? The steal does come out, but it looks like Blind Knight might go down. Nice Zanyas by Hoihoi. But when he comes out of it, what's he going to be able to do? He's just going to take the Dark Passage. Mashari is just going to flash out as well. It's kind of a nobody wants to fight right now. Slaking's in there. One unstoppable onslaught from Odin's Son. And an excellent equalizer to follow up. This could be the game. They're going to take down Mashari. Another triple kill for Sankanyo. Only Kuro is left alive, and he's going to drop his ult. It's a quadra kill for Sankanyo. That's an ace for Trismegetsu. That should be the game, and that is the first loss for Breaking Bard.
What a great game coming out from both these teams.
Yeah,
I mean, it was intense. It was something as simple as one single game, and the surrender coming out for Breaking Bard. I mean, you can't kick a puppy when it's down. That's just abusive. Wow, 6-1. Correct. That's all I can say.
I mean, that was overall just very good.
And I mean, if you look at the golden stats across the board, they're really not that off. Like, I mean, granted, it was more about the fights and how well Trismegetsu was able, enemy coming out as a jungler for the last season, and as well from T-Lol transitioning to the top lane, did very well. I was extremely impressed by his rumble in the top lane, being able to take down Slack, and on top of that, I mean, you have Odin's Son on his Scion, which just did very well overall. I mean, it just a great strategy coming from Trismegetsu with their new player Upa coming out as well. So very well done. I'm impressed, to say the least.
Overall, just an excellent game coming out of Trismegetsu, getting enemy and Sankanyo incredibly ahead.